Alright, here we are. How are you? This is Epiousios. This is Deep for Play. We're going to have cat nap tonight. Kicking off at 7 p.m. is going to be a nightly thing. May also do a second show going on at 9 as things go on, which would be good. That'd be great. That's one thing I want to do is do a 9 o'clock. And really, depending on when folks can best catch me, that's what we're learning here. So, good evening. Good to see you. Let's hit it. Dun 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 dun. Oops. Oh crap. Dun. Who's gonna do it? Dun. Correcting asterisks. Dun dun. Dun 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 dun. Well, I'll get this player go there. Dun dun. Anything new? It is new. We have a little bit of newness, don't we? We have a little bit of newness. It is newer. It is. Well, I'm not going to call it the newest. I'm not. We're not going to do a newest about this. People will be like. So what do we have? Hello, everyone. We're excited to. This is too small for you guys. We're excited to announce that the Pax Dei 7-day trial is now available for free on Steam. This trial is not a limited time event like a Steam free weekend. It is intended to remain available over time. Now you might like this or you might have some reactions. I read their release on Discord. New players can now experience Pax Day for 7 days and discover everything the game has to offer, from building and crafting to exploration, PvE, PvP, trade, and community life. What does the trial include, you might ask? Yeah, right. You already own it. You already own it. So, what are the new folks getting? You know, just to see. The trial grants access to the full Pax Day experience for 7 days. Huzzah! During that time, players can, explore the world freely. Build their own home. Oh, they can? Craft and gather resources, which you could always do, but what about that home thing? Join a clan. Well, you can build your own home if the clan gives you land, right? Trade with other players, right? Right, you could build up, get that gold, earn that grace. Well, in 7 days, you really can't get any grace at all. Can you build a home in 7 days? Participate in PvE and PvP activities. Which, of course, I wasn't going to highlight it. It just seemed kind of overdone. PvE and PvP activities in 7 days. Well, yeah, you'll be really early on skills. You could grind up, get some of them grapes. Progress their character without gameplay restrictions. Right, in 7 days. As part of the trial, players also receive a temporary plot that allows them to claim land. Okay, so a token that allows them to claim land and establish their own home. It just says plot. It just says plot. In short, the trial is not a separate version. It is not. I can't do the grab. Darn it. Okay, never mind. It's not a separate version of Pax Day. It is not. It is not a separate version of Pax Day. It is the full game experience, unless you're on the mothership and things are in the middle of a patch. Limited only by duration of 7 days. If you want to know more about how the Pax Day trial works, head to our dedicated support article. Pax Day 7-day trial is now available for free on Steam. Now, what happens when it ends? Here's a high point. You can try it every 90 days. I'll rate it up. I always rate everything up that they bother to put out. You know, because this is a separate thing from their webpage thing. They have to organize these, and they have a little bit. They do the same thing on Discord. It's often in a different order, and the links, are different. The redeeming queue. It holds it there. 3 days before being released, that plot itself, so you can still maneuver with it for up to the 10th day. Right? You've seen me do this. If you haven't, check out my really recent videos, very recent, recent as this week, Monday, perhaps even the one with more to twy on the front. I'm keeping the cat box thing unless I create a thumbnail for it. Well, whatever. So, yeah, that's it. Any questions about this, of course, you guys could check it out. But if you own Pax Dei, you're one of the 1,000, 2,000, 2,000 people who might tune in daily to Pax Dei. I actually had, just per week, not saying much, yeah, per week, over 1,000 unique viewers checking out my material for whatever length, few minutes. You know, YouTube thinks 12 minutes is a miracle. I guess. I mean, I try to watch people's stuff. But there's some stuff, yeah, I cut out early, but it's not like 12 minutes is some max. I either watch it or I don't. Or I run out of time. That happens. Running out of time. Now, they might have called me a clown face. I got 3 clown faces in Discord. I had just cleared off my block list. I'm not going to look in the Discord. It's a silly place. But Knights of the Discord table. All right. Let's show you how fast this is. Dang it. I forgot to tune in to the right one. Pump up the jam. Pump it up. Pump it up. Yo, pump it. There we go. So, look how quick and easy. Oh, it's so hard. I remember people complaining. And it's like, okay, about going to the... You should make a public test server thing. You should make it different. Okay. So, it's already updated. We're ready to play. This is because they're very close right now. They're on the same build. But there might be a couple little things lingering behind that are different. I haven't noticed it yet. This is why I play on the test and the live server. It's important. There will be distractions. That was supposed to be and. Dang it. And. That was. And there. Whatever. Hello, Catnap. Let's rock. I always log in. Well, since I've had it, in Epic. I had logged in cinematic, but I don't play that well anyway, so it just looked bad starting out. But then the skies started doing something weird. They were all orangey. I'm trying to distract from the skinny dipping Catnap. Caught you in your bathing clothes, Catnap. We caught Garadina last night. She has the different cloak. Oh, we got to go through these. Oh my goodness. That's a lot. That's right, they reset all these. Blues Brothers. It's not accurate. Oh yeah, I was doing stuff. While we're waltzing through these awardings, bows, level 8, not so bad. Where am I on crafting? No, like, not so bad. What? Did something... Oh, Garrett got rid of the floor there and just kept it symmetric for now. Yeah, I'll have to fold the floors in a moment. Well, let's check this out while these things are going here. The basic fetching table. Open the basic fetching table. Ooh, ah. Ooh, ah, ah, ooh, ah, ah. We are making these. We are making arrow shafts. That's our next thing to do. Longwood stock, boar sinew, bone fragments, glue, which have I made a bunch of that. Bird feathers, we're working on that very soon. One thing to know, if you don't know it yet, is pheasants are a bit harder to get. How you doing, Willie? Good evening to you. Everything too loud and horrible. I'm watching my achievements go by here. They reset everything here on the mothership. We were bleeding into Europe. I have my monitor too loud, I bet. I turned it up for myself. It was like on 80. There you go. Yes, I have a remote to my monitor. How bourgeois. First steps in carpentry. It's like memory lane. Okay. Takes the hammer out of the hand. I have way too much stuff on me. I got arrows. Didn't I? I mean, cheap ones. I need cheap ones because it matters. Oh, that's right. Okay, so we need a basic bow. Account-wide, not so... So right, I'm glad you... Willie, I thank you for saying that because I was going to forget. I forgot that last time, just like I forgot to set my home at the shrine. Okay, so the insight I got wasn't from a direct explanation at first. It came with an issue. People who had accounts on the mothership here in Arcadia, which when they swapped servers, I guess this is running as a shard. They call it the shard, public test shard, but it's running in a way that people on one of the European servers were getting checked for their activity on both the test server and the live server. Mainframe said, "We're sorry, we did not want that to happen." Now, when I use tokens and plots in Selene or Sif, they all count the same. With Garrett, I got this message when I was in Selene that was like, "You're not going to have enough tokens to renew all your plots." And I was like, "Well, I have plenty." But I had gotten a couple messages that were lingering that I hadn't archived or erased back on the web page. And so when I went to the test server with her here and renewed these plots, which Catnap can't inspect because they're not his, but when I came back here, yeah, a couple were on 4, but I planned that. I swear I planned it. No, I keep track. Even though I claimed them at different times, I just do that for entertainment. Why? Because if they're all at once, that just gets so weird to me. But what I'm trying to say is, yeah, it warned me due to previous expirations, even though the plots here, when I got here, had enough. Or excuse me, I was one short. I would have been one short now that I'm quickly thinking about it, because I wasn't counting the grace plot, which wasn't counting when the tokens gave me a warning. And I was like, oh, that's cool. So it even does that, where whether on Sif or Selene, check it on cats, the RP and, no RP difference. The European server, I guess, is the same thing, having 2 different ones. And, of course, the Japanese server, or Asian server. But only being one. I don't think they can't roleplay there. They must. But, they're they're Asian. That's so racist. And, it's not. It's like a proof. Just watch Godzilla. Anyway, or Power Rangers. Anyway, but, or Kung Fu Theater, Jackie Chan, Drunken Master. Anyway, but, or Super Cop, Jackie Chan. Anyway. It's The point being, they wanted everything to be separate from the test server, and so but they weren't talking about things being separate on the live servers. So correct. It seems achievements are account wide, not server. Now, I'm gonna find that out with Catnap, I guess. Because I haven't seen it yet. No, you brought something up that I was wondering about. Did they do that? You know, and you're saying, but, womp womp. They did. Okay, that's, okay. Now, Altari counted up the grace. And he's somebody who probably has the whole dang list by now. I mean, Mainframe was speculating before they released it who would achieve everything first. I wonder if they were perhaps a little disappointed to see how many had achieved most all of it already. I mean, really, the Vanquish Inquisitors, okay, that's just the first one. There's one that's a huge one. It's 100,000. You know, there's people who know this so much better than I do. Of course, they have categories, so that's just going to mess up my whole idea of where things would be. I kind of thought the highest would be at the bottom. That might not be the case. Well, actually, it looks like, okay. Yeah, okay, it looks like things. 1,000 grace. So if, Altari was looking at this going, wow, okay, let's count this up really quick, because that's pretty easy at 4,000. That's 4,000. That's 10 months. Right? That's 10 months of plot. What, 4,000? 400? No, is it in the 40? Yeah, 10. Unless I suddenly lost my ability to abstract math in my head. Contagion Purified. You get all these things that might be worth money to someone who all of a sudden got them, right? Whoa. Maybe I need a couple, but Jiminy Christmas. Right? Yeah, there's a lot of Crimson Runic leashes here. Did someone complain? I think someone complained about that. Going, that's not so hot. More tattered sigils. You must need these. Things wear out. And maybe the things that you want most, okay, there's 200, 50, 25, 5, a Zebian Pest. 1,000, 10,000. Okay, so that was almost, someone had it might have been 10,000. Okay, that's enough. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff. I'm in no hurry. My inventory. Oh man, I gotta build stowage. Bummer. I do want to get him in carpentry though. That's very motivational. Catnap. Let's kill things. I think I've started this little campaign. I'm just boring everybody in Discord. But I can take it. I enjoy myself. If I'm not enjoying myself, that's when I never really start. But I do not like, and I was quiet, and you've heard this before, Willie, so you can just ignore me. But I was very much in to the fact that when they proposed this thing, I didn't think it was so bright of me to say, hey, when I look up all the things you guys want in this Pax Dei social simulating sandbox low fantasy experience, that, I mean, crap, my computer can barely run your little previews. So I wonder, and I don't have a different computer than I had that day. I mean, really, I'm not using all the RAM in it. Do I have the ability? I don't know. I gotta get into Steam and turn that on again. Just so when I'm curious, because now I'm always curious. When I have it up all the time, I'm not curious at all. It's irritating. But the stats that show you how much RAM you're using, of course I'm recording. Which actually, it cuts down. When I play this game without recording, it's so bloody smooth. I'm like, I never want to record again. I swear. You know, I don't even want to record it just to my computer. Playing live, actually, oh man, that sucks. Playing it live, I was like, no one's gonna watch this. You know, I don't want to be too generous, but you know, I have this idea in my head, but I keep on having a different one. I'm kind of like AI that way. I can't remember what you said last time, so keep good notes. We'll just leave you like that. It's a height marker. Yes, what is going on here? We have to kill birds. It's a big deal with these birds. They've wanted to change archery, and they wanted to put in feathers. That has been since verse 1. Oh, you just find them on the ground, you know? How are they going to put in feathers? Or something else? And that's where mainframe went from. And then they had to figure out birds. You know, I was saying before, there's two types of developers. And we can't get them mixed up. Willie, we can't get them mixed up. There are those who create their own operating system. And so they can say what we want as long as we can C++ it into existence or purchase assets from third parties or even purchase coding pre-assembled in Blueprint. I read that somewhere. No idea. I was like, oh, that's even something else, because in Second Life we can do that. In Second Life we had everything 20 years ago. And, well, I can prove it. I mean, really, what's the big thing? The characters? The characters? The characters. Where did I put it? Is it behind this screen? Nobody. Desktop. There they are. Let me get this off screen. This might have gotten me removed last time. It might have gotten my account deleted. I got to be careful. So, built this. This is me. I've started to shrink these large mesh buildings because they have an anchor, and they were all made with the windows and everything connected. And you can see over here the doors. I'd already shrunk them down to match me, and I'm a lot closer over here. This is a pretty good distance. This is a sub. You can go inside, you know, and it has all sorts of little scripts in it and everything. It's cool, you know, stuff like that. The flag blows. This is a flexi prim. It doesn't blow like a real flag. I mean, the ripples are shadows, but it always just blows to one side or the other, depending on the prevailing wind in Pax Dei. The blue skies, there's a cloud. There's clouds in Pax Dei. Not Pax Dei, excuse me, Second Life. And this was 2019. So 2019 is when this was taken. I spent 15 years in Second Life. And I spent those 15 years. Here's Jehoshaphat. This guy's mesh. This polo shirt, this collar's a separate piece. This here's a separate piece. I had to put the buttons in place and angle them. I had to connect the sleeves. I had to set the weights of the fabric to stick to his arms. This is a skin. I had to, you know, I did not paint my own skins. I pretty much had to resize these glasses. You could tell they're made for a smaller face. So later I stretched them out. After I took this photo, I was like, "Yer." And talk about trees rezzing into place. These looked a lot better. They look like these, more like when they rezzed into place, but they look like this before they did. And that's your prim structure. And this is important because this is what we usually have a choice of here, but now it's micro prims. And the two-dimensional trees, which are more like this guy back here. You can see these fuzzy panels, but these are exactly that. They are panels that you can see from all directions, and you think, oh, that looks like a lovely three-dimensional tree. And you'll notice the water all goes one direction. We're still there, folks. The water all goes one direction in 2019. So, you know, now, when it comes to, you know, what we could do, and who we could play with, and where we could be. Let me see. I believe I'm falling in love. So this is the default character in Second Life. These are all people I knew. That's a great outfit. But this is the default character here that you saw me in just moments ago. Built the building, textured it. It has indoors. You stick things on it. These are people across the way. This is a little duplex that I sat here. Someone else, Studio S made it. They make boulders in the game. But this is our character, accuracy back then. There's nothing weird here, is there? So, here's the smoothness. Here's the reflection. They had all sorts of animations. They had all sorts of anchors. You could park things on different anchors. The head had 1, 2, 3, even a 4th anchor. That's how you could put hair, put 2 different hairstyles together. You could mount the glasses. You could put the headband on, which wasn't part of the hair, and you can shrink it down, set the weight. They gave us an engine, and we built things with that engine. So I know a lot about what mainframe's going through. I built all this before. Not this in particular, but I know how this is done. It's all, they either paint these things in place or they make them and set them in place. There's all sorts of things you can do. And meshes, the fact that it's mesh. And, the weight on this and why it doesn't set here. And people were talking about, why can't we make ourselves heavier? Well, okay, so, there's catnap. That's a middle catnap. I switched myself all the time. It was more fun to be a girl in Second Life. Earlier catnap, I put that matrix drop. That was actually a dripping matrix, just like you see. It would drip in her glasses on each side. Absolutely astonishing. I did not make those. But I applied the texture from a texture. Someone had gotten that texture together. So we had very accurate characters. We were very clean. When it came to being able to put clothes on different sized bodies, I could make catnap heavier and then put clothes because people liked the character that I put together using all the different things, and they would take images of me because the things that sold in Second Life were the female costumes, all handmade, everything handmade. And so that's where Pax Dei is now. And those are from a long time ago. Really, that's catnap. So this whole dress had a rotating star system. This sparkler stayed around her hand, this drifting drift poofed around her all the time, all over the place. Constant animations, constant shifting of positions. That Jehoshaphat here, was he smoking a cigarette? Yeah, this cigarette actually exhausted itself, and then on a timer he'd light another, and he had all sorts of smoking animations. This is the default viewer in Second Life. No frills at all. You can get several other viewers. And yeah, I didn't leave a date on this. But this is probably circa 2017, 2018, 2019. And that's when I left, went off to play Imperion like crazy for a long time. Actually, Second Life had gotten to the point where my graphics card could not handle it any dang more. What's in the chat? Oops, not you, Jehoshaphat. Come here. What's in the chat? Do I have anything else open? And I can show you a bit more of Second Life. Dang, if I was in Second Life, they still have my inventory. That's what's really irritating. There's like I was gonna say $2,000 worth of stuff in that inventory, but that is a lie. Oh my goodness, and I spent nothing. That's like people who play here. There's people who were in the pre-alpha. Yes, they were in the pre-alpha. And they're like, we were in the pre-alpha. Well, that doesn't matter. That was a Pax Dei that will never exist again. Because that was everything thrown in there like a big, what's that, chipotle stew, where you have the different, I forget. They're not clams. There, you got to eat them in the right season. Chipotle. Yeah, they have chunks of fish and everything in there, but you had everything. You had this fish stew, even though we don't have fish. And man, I'll tell you, all's Circle came online. Now I'm in an area. I should be getting our man hack. It is a Thursday. It's a Thursday. Birthday. Garetita's weight. Right, that's a 4-dayer. And there's a watch. That's another 4-dayer. No, she upped those. Those are 13s. Yeah, that's a 13. Yeah, big deal, whatever. I will do building in a little bit. Just go along. I do want to start recording longer because I usually play in longer sessions. And I might go off and do other things if I don't. I'm not getting enough playtime, man. I'm feeling very depraved. But that's though, whatever. Life goes on. That's the best thing about Pax Dei. Well, yes, you have to pay for it to still be here. What am I paying now? $60 a month? That's about half of what I was paying before. Because I was like, well, realistically, I can't spend as much time as I wanted. And so I gotta be realistic. That's it. Don't have more of this stuff. Maybe I don't. Yeah, keep the reed. Where's the resin? You gotta keep them resonated. By the time you need the arrows, it's already too late. 1,000 trees for 23 resin. You fall from grace and you're filled with hate. Okay. Oh yeah, I'm just making normal ones. And then I'll grab a normal bow. Making wood arrows in your hand. Sure, it would be great to have a simulated game where you actually have to, what do they call it when you chip the rocks to make the arrows? You have to be able to do that, or we had to actually boil wood to get it to bend into barrels, to make the, the cooper, that trade, actually have to hang them. That'd be a lot of animations. And some people got used to that with, like, Sims. We have a lot of Sims players that came over to Pax Dei. Because Sims is just too bloody expensive. And then everybody bought, 10 million copies of Parasims? I bought a copy. That's a good little deal. That little piece of software, I'm proud to have bought that sucker. Bang. I'm like, that's a little piece of art right there. It's totally naked, though. They can't build a story. And I was talking about the difference between studios. The difference between studios is there are those who can make their own operating system, and those who are dependent on Unreal, Unity, or several others you could use. That you would, a couple of them, you'd have to be pretty badass knowing what you're doing in order to, don't I have one of these already? I must. Right, the Coleswood bow. Of course it's wood. Oh, I guess I should... I usually keep my arrows where I can see them. So the peasant, wood arrows are no good on those. Let's see if I still have a shuffle step. I talked to a guy who had another glitch going on, where he couldn't... It was something with his weapons, and it wasn't the cooldown thing, where people were spamming their cooldown. Where'd you guys go? I know there's some over here, so I gotta watch where I walk. They're all over the place. It's like stepping on snails on a wet morning. Except snails don't go screaming and rising into the air. I step on... Well, I don't step on them. In Alaska, we really don't have those buggers around up here. Okay, now they're all quiet. Be very, very quiet. I'm hunting for pheasants. Well, actually, geese. Yeah. At the 902nd Military Intelligence Battalion, hello, boar. You're just gonna make it a challenge. Now, one thing I wanted to know. Oh, here. Dang it. $2,870. Are you kidding? We didn't see that. We're having union disputes with the boars. They're not gonna act like they want to run to their death. It's some kind of, they want a bonus. Days off. Boars. Did the place just go quiet of geese? There was a lot more than this around before. I mean, on another day. And we just heard them. And they could have been the ones up in the woods, but if they lowered the amount, okay. Because maybe if they up the amount, they can change the numbers. I've already heard that explained in quite literally, that they can change numbers very easily without causing a cascade. Oh man, I gotta get you two. Oh, come on. Oh, I didn't check. Darn it. Forgot my own thing. You. 2905. I forgot the last number. Got you in the foot. Oh, there's two of you. Good. You brought your friend. No, I was late. I know. Yeah, they'll keep running at you when you're late. No, but when you're early, they stop short and stare at you. Yeah, that's just like a boar. Alright. I've never hunted boar, but I've heard stories about guys from guys in Fresno. Really? Did you just fly away? You did. This is going to be a lame live recording. But I can take lame. I have promoted Pax Dei since... Really? You... Okay, so you flush him. This always happens. Can I see one in the sun? No, he's going to go in the tree. And I'm not going to go through the tree. I must have left one on the ground. Maybe. Sometimes you do. That can make you really tired. Alright. Now, I only hunted for a moment around here with Garadina, but I was building with Catnap and just, every time I ran around for wood or stones, these guys were just... Well, they're like the group, a flock of seagulls, man, but they were geese. No. Oh, you boars. Okay, so this is gonna be like mining. I gotta clear out the jerky boys here. Yeah, gotcha. Oh, yeah, really? Oh, look at that. 2 for the price of 1. 2 spears, 2 boars, 1 shot. I tell you what, I don't know. It's a perfect game. They don't need to go any farther. What they need to do is just take a rest before 5.7. That's what they need to do. They already said, man, I'm going to talk crap. They already said that a lot of assets, trees in particular was the subject, but it was grouped in, well, talking about trees, I believe, and I can look again, Spire mentioned there are many assets that will not move forward. Well, this has been known since September of 2025 when Ashes of Creation launched forward with 5.7, and they found a lot of problems in it as far as what they wanted to do. In fact, Ashes of Creation was falling apart from the inside. They had people, destroying crafting benches, making sure other people couldn't craft. It was a major break in the game, and it was a very large group of people who, just fly. They were flying monkeys, man. They just attack everybody who didn't think their way. And heck, they might have spent a lot of money, but there's probably no proof of that. Because major investors quit, and going, rage quit out of these guys, messing up that crafting area. And then they found out that something else was going on with Ashes of Creation. But don't let that fool you. It wasn't Uber Eats. They were dying. They died before they found out the protagonist was a loser. And was pretty much just ripping off people, which is pretty sad. It's just bratty stuff. There are people who are very, very bratty. They don't really think about what they're doing to others. They just think, how cool for me. And they still don't think about what they're doing to others. Because what? It's just Uber Eats, just a few... How do you spend $1 million or so on Uber Eats or whatever it was? That doesn't impress me. It's just... That's like Greek theater. Wow. Okay, so did they decrease the number? Fine. Someone said there's a lot more fowl in the wilds now. They were comparing the number to those in Lioness. So, there's that. I could always back up. I know, I never do this. I really don't. There they are. These birds are going to turn me into a frickin' hover parent. Helicopter mom, here he comes. Okay, so half of them are going to be flying a totally different direction. What I love is when you're trying to flank one and then you find another. I'm glad my speakers do stereo. You really don't have to take aim at one, I guess. Whoa, really? Oh, these are grouse. I'm not going to take these out. Unless I hit him twice. Got him. I almost thought there was one next to him. No more bars. Okay. Let's just put one in him for fun. No, I meant to cancel. Oh, interesting. It looks like a funny pattern. So I did get 2 in that. Okay, so I somehow think it gave me a double. I'm going to have to prove that to myself because before grouse were not going down with an arrow. Oops, dang it. Wow, going pretty fast. I do have a bonus going till August. And that's just from the original. That's from the original. So that'll be out soon. I'll be able to tell how everybody else is doing. No. They did knock down the range of wood arrows. So you're going to see me checking myself again. Because they wanted there to be a greater distance or difference. Oh no, not that. No, not you either, Gee. Clutch! My phone signaled his demise. I'm getting lazy being... Oh, there you go. I gotta get out into stuff that can kill me soon. Getting real lazy. I have so much to do. Up, 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 up. Follow in. So the grouse are going easier. That's 2 down. I've been watching the timing on these, Willie. It's been an experiment. I read a lot of what Mainframe says, and there's probably a bunch more that I haven't. I just don't... Well, there's no point in looking behind the trees. Oh, okay. So, Peter was the one talking about archery. So what? Peter was the one talking about archery. I don't have any sticks on me. Gotta chop down a tree for a grouse. That's not earth friendly. Anyway. I feel good. I should have given it a hug before I chopped it down and been a true Californian on the right wing. But they said you should be able to take 2 on the ground. Following in with the wood arrow, you should be able to take 2 on the ground. I think we're seeing that I can get 2 shots in. Oh, I should make one. I could walk back to the camp, but you know... But they say you can take 2. I think I'm finding that out. There is an audio range to them. And it's getting dark. So it's time to craft by the fire rather soon. All you honking goose in your pumped up kicks, better run from my bow, run from my hero. All you gabby goose with your pumped up kicks, better run from my... I don't want to do it from there. Really? Well, they do fly for no reason. Not just me. Oh man, I really want to get... There, I can get a distance on him. Belly butt beak, boom. Oh, come on. There's one back here, too. I should have gone for him. No, they're all away. And they're all away. Dang it. Gotta get that. The wood arrow. I don't feel like it. No. Actually, it's pretty cool. It's not very... Did I get one? Couldn't really see how far they were for the next one. A little bit of sage, a little bit of goose. Nice timing. So you get nothing but feathers. And bones. Bones. The bones. Look at the bones. Skinny geese. All you skinny geese with your pumped up kicks, better run from my bow, running from my hero. Now, what's funny about those rewards and achievements, just between you and I, Willie. Dang it. Why don't I put it on my... I gotta put it on my shield button. Because that's what you do with it. Can I go for my shield first? I gotta unbugger myself. That's actually a terrible word. Run from my bow, running from my arrow. Right. Pumped up kicks. They used to have pumps on the tongues of shoes. And people used to tighten them so their shoes would stay on while they were playing basketball because their feet were growing. And they were there for kids. And so everybody had their pumps. But they were expensive, and sometimes they'd pop. It was funny. I'm going to make a mistake here. Well, not that particular one. I just say I need to take a break for a prayer. Oh, really? I'll chin you up. Anyway, that's exciting. There they are. Yeah, Gabby. Not you. Dang it. That's what I get for moving something. But it wasn't even there. I know. I know. No. Yes. Really. We can look straight up now. That's very nice. Wow. Good job, Ace. It was my problem. I know, Catnap. Don't feel bad. I'm not. I know. Don't. I'm not. When I in where were they? I thought they were right over here. In Garrett's time in. There you go. I knew that. I thought they were in the nook of the stone. So 25. So they come in groups of 5. So I only nailed 6. Faster than my bow, faster than my arrow. Dude. Okay, there's bushes in the way. They really warn you about where you go to take them. If you see reeds, or it looks like the green one there. Oh, come on, give me the drop. Those things, up and out. Hit 1. Not even 1. I don't care, I got 1. Whoa, you. Got him. So, I mean, shoot, man. I'm pretty much a natural with these darn bows. Those geese are a bit different than the way it's been. I had to satisfy myself from a hip shot there, you know? It's like, dang. Yeah, come on, I see you jumping over there, froggy one. Yeah, I got my buttons right. Yeah, screw your union break. Send me to Valhalla! See you in 5 minutes. How is it? Is it 30 minutes, or are they on 3 hours? I only even ever saw notes on how long the cooldown is. Sometimes people would mention it in Discord. I don't pay attention. I have no interest in knowing the cooldown of anything. I have no interest in knowing when they come back. No interest at all. And if I learn it, I just try to ignore the fact that I ever saw it, and I'll even confuse myself as a game on purpose because I don't care. And it's probably the first gaming, you know, if Mainframe wants to call it a game. Let's play a game. Let's play Pong. That's a great. I can't remember if they're German or Belgian or who knows. Doesn't matter. Let's play Pong. Eisenfunk. Eisenfunk. No, that's not it. Come here. Can't reach that one. There you go. gonna find you. One way or another, I'm gonna pluck you. What's the French song? Frère Jacques? I don't know the words though. It's like plucking chickens, always plucking chickens. Frère Jacques. There's one on the ground still. Dang. Right through the tree, I'll tell you. Really. He was in my face. I'm gonna just keep going for it, really. Wow. And he disappears like a magician. It only takes 5 arrows to get a beat on him. Well, 2 on the ground. I didn't get 2 on the ground. I nearly did. And they're quite adamant about that. Yeah, 2 on the ground. Because your wood arrows, they didn't think you'd have such an easy time. And I didn't. Even with the one goose frozen in the air, I did not have a good time. No. I just getting a bead on it over and over again. It took. I was just like, what the hell? What did they do with the wood arrows? And they did. And wood arrows shouldn't be so wonderful, especially ones made in your hand. I mean, you'd have to chew on them to get them straight, you know. And I got a cat. Nothing special for you, Bucky. Speaking of nothing special, dang it, I was looking for the 6 Steam keys. I allegedly have. They said take them, receive them, put them away. Maybe I archived the email. Kudos out to False Incarnate for answering my question. Because it reminded me, because that's what I asked. I was like, basically, no, I know all this. Remind me, I'm checking distance here. Remind me how it came so I can remember what I might have done with it. And he said, yeah, it came in an email and you could have archived it, but then they erased it. And I was like, right, did I save it? I'm a really loser on range now. Well, I'm not saying it was all great before, but... Okay, that was bad. There's a dot. Are they actually trying to give us a dot when we're on the money? I hadn't noticed that yet. I read about it. And I've kind of seen it flashing up and down. Maybe it'll help me with the birds. They give you a aiming dot? A reticle. It's not really a reticle, it's pretty much a shoot now button. Shoot! It's like whenever he starts yelling, shoot, shoot! Can you mess it up? Okay, I know I don't want to draw things out, but this is Pax Dei. Pax Dei is drawing things out. It is the peace of God they want it to be. I remember maybe it was Sukap. I forgot his name. Haven't seen it in a while. Maybe I have it. Yeah, I have everybody written down. Dun dun. Solkahara, the chief product officer and one of the founders. Please remember, everybody besides Willie and I, because I say this all the time. Rainier. He's one of the founders of EVE Online. In fact, I put up a link to a video by Dana. And Dana was, they're right in front of me. What are they? And Dana, 2 years ago, did a great interview with Peter and Rainier. And they're 2 different people. See, there's that dot. But that dot, that's not representative of a wood arrow. I'm not going to believe that for a wood arrow. And I'm glad I didn't. Ah, you're not close enough for a straight shot. Well, I can't even get the... Okay, that was just off. Lucky birds. They're not lucky. They're fortunate. Whoa. They're still... Okay, now people also... Well, that could have been a leaf. People also said how... Did you just hear that funky noise? There are noises. They're hearing the... Okay. Were those pheasants that I couldn't take with one arrow? I tried to put one down twice. Oh dear, I guess I didn't get any of them. And then the other ones might have... Oh no, there's one. No. Yes. Yes. Is it two? So something went on with the grouses and the Canadian geese. Because I distinctly remember the wood arrows. Maybe that was just Garrett. Maybe at her level she wasn't hitting hard enough with a wood arrow. I should remember that. I forgot that. But he's only level 8. She's like level 3 or 4 though. It was difficult. Experience wasn't being rewarded very well for arrows. And now it's being rewarded much better. I don't know if it comes as the 35 that we all get with everything, but we're not doing so bad. And that first time user experience, the FATUI, whatever they like to call it, is what mainframe is dealing with right now. And while I'm like, well, yeah, but you got the cart ahead of the horse, you proposed a game that's on 5.7. And these giant lists of things. I mean, they announced something more interesting than what I can't remember, I guess. I'll have it in a minute. Yeah, something aquatic. Spire alluded to something aquatic being in the mix. I know, I'm seeing if I can catfish them all the way out. They're not even coming toward me. Now that's unfortunate. Is there still one down there? But Spire mentioned maybe something aquatic. Well, I don't know. Oh, blank. Really? Okay, that's just aiming badly. This reminds me of Boy Scout camp. I should have stuck to the black powder range. I did very well on the black powder range. Archery. We had some cute Girl Scouts hanging out with us, and they liked archery. I nearly whipped my nose off with the dang. Never mind. Didn't track him well. Did he go down a hole? No, he's there. Oh, he ran back already. Come here. That ring gets kind of, you know... Well, I make turns in cars without looking anymore. After I've looked a bit. I don't think we need such squishy scalpel work. Did I hit him? Whoop, I gotta adjust my mouse. He's already gotten away. There, bing. And you know, stuff works, right? It works. You know, with the pheasant, I gotta get a handle on that. I gotta get a handle on that. Now, anything mainframe can add, fine. But if they're adding things that cannot move forward with 5.7, and 5.7's right there, well, maybe they're making things now. Maybe these birds are an asset made in a way with whatever needs, whatever is compliant with 5.7s. Yeah, there's a few things in there. It's that voxel, it's the nano, it's because the trees become this more of a powdery substance, and so these little micro prims, these micro polygonals. Like the larger ones that are in Second Life, they were just larger. You can get ones that are like these. Whoa, where'd you? Totally clueless. Oh, wow, really? Dude. Now, learning where they are and knowing where to sneak up on them, not sure if I really want that. So I should just do the elevator man. I swear, if people actually get real motion sickness, I mean, sometimes, when I change, when I change views, yeah, my eyes kind of just go, woo, just a little adjustment. But if people are calling that motion sickness, stop driving. Don't drive if that's motion sickness. Maremno is a beautiful place. It's a beautiful place. It's one of the finest places, really, with its cascading hills, the steps. It's off in the corner above, well, as you've seen, Armanhak. Armanhak's really populated. So I'm going to have to go down there and check it out again, because I'm sure it's more so now than it was. Sorry, Boar, you're on the menu. I need leather for storage stuff. The birds aren't giving me skins. Getting a new extended keypad. It is the cheapest thing I have ever... Nope, too high. Plugged into my computer. I mean, the thing nearly costs more in shipping than it costs itself. But they're so rare now. Logitech got out of them. Some people are getting back into them for the tablets. That's because people just want a gaming or a micro keyboard for their tablet. And so they've had those left-handed pads for quite a while. So maybe they'll make a comeback with that. The Tartarus or whatever it's called by Razer. It's just a pain in the ass. It's too bad. They changed their original model. And that's a bunny. The bunny, the bunny. Oh, I love the bunny. Are those birds up on the rock? Down on Fraggle Rock there? Not you, you. Oh, you little bunnies with your good luck boots. Whoops, where'd you go? You did. You ran from my bow. You ran faster than my arrow. Oh, you little bunnies with your good luck boots. Better run from my bow faster than my arrow. I know that's a terrible song. Or it has a terrible subject. It's not a terrible song, so to speak. It's better than being silent. Look at him, that slow turn. Transformer boar, more than meets the eye. Now, if I had flint arrows, I'm going to run out before I even get them. Come here. Come on, come on. Yeah, thanks. Thanks for meeting me halfway, buddy. Not so bad for a union guy. Okay, yeah, thank you. Right. Say hi to the kids for me. All right. faster than my arrow. I wanted to go through all the arrows. 100 arrows to sloppily shoot at all those. It would have taken a lot longer to actually be on target. Though the other day, I did smoke a bunch out. And I think I took 4 out of the air. And I figured out I took 2 on the ground. So I was like, okay, so that's not so bad. Now those who don't feel they're so clutch, well, flint arrows should improve the thing. I'll find that out very quickly, actually. Get up. Aw, man, it was right there. No, you. Don't die on the first one. I need a block. As long as they get a hit in, they don't care when they drop. Their game's over. Oh, the daylight's coming. I do get a little bit jiggy with it when the daylight's coming, when the... Aren't you? There's you. Are there more on the grass? Sometimes there's 2. Everybody must know this by now. Sometimes there's 2. Sometimes there's more. So 2 types of studios. Ones that make their own game engine, and ones who have to suffer by taking whatever is available to the consumer. And they are consumers. They are not paying for Unreal Engine. I don't know if you need to pay for Unity, but Unreal says, no. The engine's free. Now, they sell assets, and a lot of games use it, and that's why things are familiar in Pax Dei to me. Originally. And still. There are, well, I'm just going to let that alone. The Tootsie Roll would, you know? Very familiar. And once they have a certain amount of market sales, that's when Unreal, their end license, end user license agreement, their EULA, kicks in. Their agreement is that no, once you start making a certain amount of margin, we want our percentage, and that's actually great. They're not going to bother you until you can make $1. Oh, you. Dang it. They're not going to bother you until you can make $1. You're going to be back, I know. You stopped. Really? But, wilderness tester. I have testes. Oh no, tester. Sorry. Wilderness brass. You can see things much better when you look. Man, southpaw. Can we get a southpaw? Can we get a left-handed stance? I mean, really? Before they worry about all these other stupid things, can we just get a left-handed stance? How about that? I mean, talk about DEI. Like, no, I don't want anything DEI. I'm not into everything. There's this. Everybody has the same equity. I know it's personal. I love when the colors kick in. It is a challenge for my my PC to stick up on that. There was a deer up here too. I just, not a deer, but I mean, there was this stag. I just got to get my bronze in place here, or I won't be able to get him. Gone quite away from where I am. Do I have my stuff showing up? No. See, that's the thing. I don't have my stuff parked. Let's go back to the house. The empty dungeon. Oh, dang it. Hold it, not that. Come on. Give me that. Give me that. Well, just shoot everything at him. Come on, bullets. That was crazy. I don't know. Maybe it's just it's the zoom. Some people are not so hot on the zoom. I'm not gonna find both of you. But yeah, that's not what they're good about. They don't want that zoom. They want to be able to turn it off. And I think it's given me a little bit of trouble when it comes to being a gunslinger, so to speak. Because yeah, I'm whipping around a little bit quick, get a little bit of this zoom. I'll get over it. It ain't bad. It's just, yeah, I can see what they mean. I mean, I don't want to make an excuse. Oh, dang it. Am I out of arrows? I'm out of arrows. Lucky goose. Where I was? It's a lot. Oh, there it is. It's a lot different than recovering your disc golf disc. I don't even think I need sage for anything. And too bad we couldn't get duck, and we couldn't hang the geese and let them season like the good old days, which I would not ever eat anything like that but in a video game. I mean, I've eaten zombie flesh on accident in Minecraft, so it's not so bad. Oh man, I can't get rid of any bones yet. I don't need to get rid of anything, but like to come back up here. I'll forget about the darn the bucks. I really just wanted to go up a level. Jeez. We've been a long way, baby. There, that one has a nick on it. Oh, dang it, that was stupid. He's got an arrow stuck in him. Give me my arrow back, you damn goose. Have I done enough damage to the local ecology? So we'll see his mainframe rests on their laurels. pray they're making a good choice. I know nothing when it comes to their position and what they're looking at. Don't know anything about that. And oh man, even making a character in Second Life took hours. Stupid, long hours. It was like being goth again. It was absolutely ridiculous. I used to have dang local geese. I thought I was so lucky. But then somebody mentioned how noisy they were all the time. And it did creep into my, there you go. It did creep into my opinion. That's for sure. I was like, yeah, you know, maybe in the long run, having them always by my place would be a bit of a not so hot. Man. We'll get a quick shot on these guys eventually. But for now, not so bad. Not disappointed at all, because it's something I've told a lot of people who seem to be struggling with the idea. It's too hard to play. Well, if you work... Dang, too many kniving. I'm just having fun. Did I scare them all off? Sometimes there'll be a couple left. I'm serious, because I've done it so many times now. Before they reset. I'd be like, oh, there's 2 left. Because you didn't really approach them, or, you know, like when the other deer doesn't run, because he's just facing the other way, and you drop his buddy, and they basically bump hips while he's going down, but he's still like, nah. Hey, Chuck, what do you want to do for dinner tonight? Oh, Chuck's dead. Well, I guess they're does. So Barbara, hey, Barbara, what do you want to do tonight? I'm going to hit that tree alpha. I know it. I don't know if I did, actually. There. Okay. They're still on the ground? Maybe. Maybe. Heard you got the rabies. It's just that. There you go. Just trying to get that spot, draw, in time. Now I gotta figure out where I dropped him, though. Oh, and I dropped him amongst friends? No, that's Flint. Flint, right? Flint? Our man Flint. Not the worst movie or series. You better stand still, will ya? Yeah, once I get that flick in, then I'll move to flint arrows and have to adjust. You know, I used to play Wipeout, and still do, and will, when I get the PS4 back on the 65-inch. Love Wipeout. There's no one to race online, but just absolutely nutball people who are well, you never see them again after the start, until they lap you, which is their whole point of existence, is to lap you. And if you're too easy to lap, they'll just jump out of the game. Which on some tracks, well, I'm easy to lap. But, yeah, I really love, well, compared to what they can do. Though you remember every little piece of the track. You remember every turn. The problem is you're doing it faster and faster. The same thing happens with arrows. They'll have a flatter trajectory, a faster flight, and they will do a higher damage compared to the percentage on the bow. Now, Cool K, who happens to be German, and kind of interesting, but I don't mind Cool K. I'd put up a thing of the higher bow types, and well, here. Now, I don't read German, and I was going to translate it. So, but it doesn't really matter. Now, if you want to see it, if you don't like, I know it's like, I don't know where Athena is. I'm not on enough to catch Athena or Flo right now, or Osgold. I want to catch him through Discord because I can't find that Steam key, and I wanted to get one to him because he had asked. I don't know if he's still interested, but he had asked. There's the MP4 file. And here he is. So we have the Langbogen, Einstandardbogen, mit Enigam. I'm murdering the German language. I'm getting the Germans back for World War II. Angen Faktik Ved, Gan mit Enigam, Gashik Ok Nushik Zin. Who cares? Bogen Fertigit. So given such a sort. Anyway, so this is the percentage it does of damage. Whatever that means, I can look it up on my other bows. That's what's wonderful about this. I can look it up with my other bow. Come here, bow. So, you're going to have a base power of these. Let's make that bigger. I laughed because I told him it would go some great with this, polka that I found. And he was like, "Oh, that's terrible," which you could say. I mean, I'm not insulted by that in the least. But it's, I was like, well, no, I'm glad it's in German because it'll go great with this. This is going to be too loud. So, this is my new favorite thing. And it's not in German. But he's like, that's terrible music, it's German. Well, it's actually, it's Swiss, right? I don't know if the Austrians are all into this, but the Hispanics' music sounds the same. Anyway. So, these guys, my name, echo in the Alps. So, since I can't do dual instances of that, I'll have to do that through Audacity or a music player letter. Anyway, the comparison is, if you haven't seen the advanced bows, what goes on, got this maneuver here, as he flashes through here on different bows, you can see how the base power, skill power, accuracy, there's a master crafting on that, the precision there, and the damage, the Schaden. There in German. So precision, which happens to be a German word that we use in English here in America, and a lot of German words are. So the Meister, master, handwerk is not very different here. Skill power, of course, they have a construction word, the Mach, right? And for tickets Mach. You have to get in my, ja, das ist für Tickets Mach, and Grundmach. Would they roll their R's? Anyway, Gegenstandsmach. So you have your item power, Mach. What Mach are you doing? What power? Mach this, Mach that. Waikiki, Waikiki is perhaps the name we're dealing here. Waikiki, which is a funny name for someone who's very proud of being German. But, I'm not saying not proud. But anyway, so as you go up into these things, the important thing is your arrow. Your arrow does 60% of the bow's base damage, equal to 60% of the bow's base damage. And as we can see, even with the German, item power, base power, right? There's a damage there on the very bottom. Accuracy and damage. This does, what do we see? 15, right? We saw 15, 60%. So it will do, if you're using wood arrows here with this shade and damage and this precision, you will do 60% of that, which is going to be a 3? So you're going to get 33 on that. And people are wondering, when do they get to the point where they're going to, with a wood arrow, where they're going to take down the larger players, right? There's 67 there, and you get 60% of that, which is going to be, 40 something, right? 43. I'll just go 43 again. Go by the 3. So the 440 there with the 76, you're 1776, very nice. 60% of that is going to be 40, probably right up there around 46, 45. And someone can plug it into their calculator really quick if they care. Is that enough to take down, a boar? And that's what people are hoping for. It'll get to the point where you're using the larger, 84, right? You're using the larger stuff, and you have the oil, Geheliges, the Heligetes. Do they use the T like that? I don't know. They wrestle in pools of things in bikinis a lot, though. So, the Beerwater Langenbogen. Longbogen. We have to say Longbogen. Diktierten. Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. So a little bit of stats there. This is, Cool K had posted this on Discord. Probably be tickled to claim, if you really want German music, listen to this. They said they listened to punk rock. I remember listening to punk rock when I was a little kid. And it's funny, if you're hearing punk rock in your country, it's probably because your country's falling apart. Oh my goodness. Straight back up here. Yeah, I love that Yolan stuff. It's fun. No, I don't listen to it all the time. In fact, I like other types of music much better. I like a lot of different types of music. To not like one or say a music is terrible, well, to say you're not enjoying it, I don't know. To find a music terrible, okay, it's not, oh man, I don't want to say her name. Anyway, so, I don't even like her music in my head, and it's not Grace Jones. Why are you hearing it? In my unguarded moments. I like being able to get rid of gear once inside, and so you can get rid of it and stow it away just by busting out a hammer, just in case anybody hasn't noticed that one yet. I was also talking about the stumble walk, didn't get that, but I haven't been walking around with a sword and a shield. Usually, when you're carrying something and you start kind of a shuffle, instead of a run, it's kind of like just a sneaky shuffle, not a full-out run, and you'll get stuck in that. And you can't sprint anywhere. It's actually no faster than a quick walk, and it's really a bummer. Echo in the house. I mean, the whole song's about working. That's what I love about that. That whole series of things is about working, which is really cool. Dang, it looks like I've run out of time. Willie, if you're still around or if you've gone on with your evening, I thank you for spending some time with me tonight. It's always great. Whether you can hang out or not, don't ever feel like I would impose that upon you. I want to stay on longer, but well, no, I was gonna see, but the evening has come. As it really. Have I just started to? Oh no, I have a whole bunch in my. I have to empty out my inventory. I got to make a bunch of storage. It's mostly about getting Garrett up to speed, carpentry-wise, since she's kind of the one I'm running through the new crafting with here, and all that. I just love barely making the head clearances on things. Being a person who's 6'3", my whole world is based on barely making the head clearance. Anybody taller than me, may the Lord bless you. Because I'm only the beginning of tall. I mean, only the beginning of tall. I'm when people start to first notice tall. That's about it. So... guts. Man, I barely have anything. It's weird. Okay, if I could just start over forever in Pax Dei. I'm getting so used to starting over. Just like starting over. I'm getting so used to starting over that I enjoy it. Going on forever, well, that's not something I've done for a while. Second Life is like that. You just build up tons of stuff. That's all you do. You just endlessly end up with stuff. Even if you don't want stuff, you end up with stuff. Am I putting bones anywhere? I'm putting antlers somewhere. Walk around in such cases with me is the most interesting thing Pax has to offer. No, that's a lie. Well, not a lie, but definitely doesn't have to be true. Garrett put everything every bloody where. Did she put anything that makes sense? No. Bones, leather, table, must be. Yes. Like, how strange. Doesn't he remember where he put anything? If I'm walking around with the same avatar, just to put it flat, if I'm walking around with the same avatar, then I can remember what I did with that avatar. It's just the way it is. Bruce Hornsby in the range, man. It's just the way it is. Okay, we're stacked up on there. I don't need bones here. Right? I don't think I need any bones, huh? Yes, I hear you. Begging to be shot again. We have this relationship. I'm not sure if I like what I've gotten into. Ex-girlfriend I have. Shoot me! That's not true, but ever see Ratatouille? The two people wrestling with the pistol? There are people like that out there, man. Most exciting part is not feeling like you don't know your own space. Next time I'm gonna try to have a bit of stuff ready to line up and do out, because the question still is, who are you in Pax Dei? Who are you? And as long as people ask this question, someone has to answer, you're you. You're you. That's who you are in Pax Dei. Oh, you can be you, the warrior, and you, the whatever. That's right. But, they're not telling you to be anything else is why I'm saying it's you. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. Right. Junk. Toss you on the ground. Because we can't recycle. I've heard people make arguments about, they recycled everything in the past. They recycled every scrap. Yeah, they pick battlefields dry and all that stuff. But metal becomes crisp after a while. So, while you can remelt it for a lot of things and bang it into a lot of things, after a while it's not the best. And their heating methods weren't the best. And, everything wasn't the best. So, I'd be very interested to see any grand evidence of recycling in the way we want to do it. Yeah, I think we break a... It used to be ridiculous to me that you could lose an axe head. How does an axe head disintegrate while you're trying to craft it? That just never made sense. And, Mainframe had to think, well, okay. They did. They had to, be like, well, we want people to spend time. We want people to spend time in our darn games. And, that's how you survive. Oh, okay, here's some stuff. That's how you survive. That's how you get it done. That's how you stay relevant. You show off stats. I'm going to be clicking up some iron and stuff like that. They need you to spend time. If people don't spend time, it's not going to work out. And if you can't make, see those roughed arrow shafts, if you can't make a place where people feel like spending time, it's really not going to work out. Well, they have it down. People want to spend time here. Problem is they're used to another process, one that tells them what to do and who they are. They don't have that here. I don't want that here. So they put up these awards and these achievements, and that really was. They actually put words to it. I don't need this here. I should have a basket over here, shouldn't I? I do. Brilliant. Oh, Garrett. What a pain in the butt you are. Well, that's it. I'm going to stand here until she gets here. All right, everybody. It's been real. It's been fun. It's actually been real fun. Don't look at me like that, Catnap. I'm not lying. No, it's great. I like the new system. I've always enjoyed Pax Day. I have nothing against it. The only thing I could be and moan about is how Pax Day has, has not become what they wanted it to be 2 years ago. Now, I just count them for a year of process. And they just made it to 5.6, which I don't even know what that required. But I heard them in their notes, and they had to make a lot of changes, that's right. But they're hot, they're fresh, they really need to push to 5.7. What do you know? You just said you didn't know. Well, I've done a lot of other things in life. And once you move past this, look, we know what we're doing, and we're all hot, we're all like, yeah, this stuff works. We made this hot patch, and look at this nice transfer. It's not time to pat yourself on the back and say, yeah, 5.7 isn't even on, don't hold your breath. Dude, that is the game you proposed. Right there. And they're like, don't hold your breath? I mean, excuse me, exactly how many people do we lose a day? I mean, really, we actually lose people every day playing this game who are just like, that's it. And many of them have just we don't even know they're gone yet. They are already gone. Their plots just haven't disappeared, Yeah, their stats stop showing up, but then their plots are actually gone. And then they really don't come back. Yeah, they have stuff in memory. But if they don't come back in 12 months since they quit, that stuff isn't in memory anymore. So that sales point's gone too. There's nothing else coming out like Pax Day. That Dana, D-A-N-N-E-H. It has an older picture of Rainier on there. He's like, yeah, and he had thinned out quite a bit. So there's an older picture, a glamour shots thing, and Peter on there. Peter's kind of a beta male, and I think Rainier's more the alpha male type. And, Peter and the guys really just give in to everybody. The thing is, everything that everybody wants depends on 5.7. And then we'll talk about 5.8. But if they don't make it by 2027, well, I'll still play Pax Day. I will. We've known each other for so long. I forgot it. Things are great. But something's wrong, oh baby. Never going to give you up. Never going to let you down. This is a good thing. I mean, come on, it's just a game. And any other game out there worth playing, if Pax Day someday just says no, that's it. We can't afford it. We can't afford to keep all these servers going with a declining population. If they can put their own money into it, Is that really wise? I mean, come on. Don't you want to retire? Or maybe you have tons of money. I don't know. Maybe Rainier there's Helga, there's Thor, there's Rainier, there's Ansu, there's Peter, there's Solka, there's Anna, there's Jussi, there's Jussi, and Hugh. Is that Hugues? Gabor? I couldn't say. I wanted to hear his name, but there's Borkur, but he's the lead character artist. It's like Hughes. He's the lead character artist, and Borkur is the lead concept artist. Then there's Jussi, that's the virtual effects lead, and Anna Sapanen is the lead character tech director, and Suka Haro, who you've seen in interviews, that's the chief product officer and founder. Then there's Peter Orn, who we've seen on Discord, Pararensson. I think you have to roll those R's a bit more. Pararensson. He's the lead designer, right? And you see him in that interview with Dana, and he wants he has a lot of stuff he wants. You want in one hand, and you do something foul in the other, and you see which one fits first. I'll get right to you, music. And then you have Ansu Lundberg. That's the head of the studio and founder. You can see her in the videos. Rainier Harnickson, of course, is in this video. He's the game director and founder and was back there on EVE Online, and I believe others were too. Then Thor Gunnarsson, CEO and founder, who we see at the beginning in glasses. In Who Are We? We see him. And then and they have a great resume, and a lot of people are like, what happened to the resume? Well, they're creating a game no one's created before. And they're depending on 5.7, and I believe they thought Unreal could get them really quickly there. And if they're going to take a break, I hope they're just being sneaky while they're working their asses off. Because they're that close to actually... Trees not coming through foundations. Okay, nobody thinks that's a big deal anymore. But 5.7 allows that to happen. A lot of these animals and other things people want, that's 5.7. Having different anchor points so we could actually have hair under our hoods or other things on our heads. You need skeletal points. You need these skeletal points on the skeletal frame. I believe 5.7 has those. The way the hair baubles on the back of the head, any kind of ponytails and accuracy and the proper floating distance above the clothing. I believe 5.7 highlights that. That nanite out to the voxel, where we will never see trees appear again, supposedly, right? We will have voxel trees that make it look like the forest is there, and it will just get cleaner and tighter, not switch from two-dimensional to nice trees when we get close by. That two-dimensional tree thing always bugged me. I always noticed it. It was an incredible thing. But, some of the things people want, these complicated buy orders and other structures within the marketing. But I bet 5.7 has more availability, probably a few more little, drop menus for that too. Or many more things that get put in place that make a market system that works, not just this Amazon.com. Everybody's like, well, just buy orders and recycling. Then what next? They never bother to say, well, there's going to be something next, because as soon as they have it, they're going to want more. They always want more. And the problem is mainframe's like, nah. But they haven't said nah up to now. They said yeah, or they're silent. And what they need to stop being silent, because you got to smack some peepees around. You got to say, no, we're not going to have that. Not just sit there and go, well, don't tell them. They're going to just keep on buying the game until they think it's finally not happening, and then they're going to rage quit. And who cares? It's just 1 out of 10. 1 out of 10 isn't looking so good right now. Anyway, Catnab, I am on mainframe's side. I'm not on the side of the player. I'm not. We players have all the options. We can come and go. I mean, there's no skin off our nose just to leave. Yeah, I'm tired of spending the money. I'm out. And we're on to whatever else, getting more fresh air, whatever it is. The devs are the ones stuck with this. They're the ones going, okay. And so I'm there for them. I want this to succeed. It was good enough for me in the past, the way they were going. And then all these other things started happening because, well, man, if only out of 160 estimated purchases of Pax Day, if only 10,000 of those people came back. They can't have a free trial. They already own the base game. They could erase it, I guess. Well, maybe they erased it. I doubt it. But, they already have the base game. They could just come in and play. there won't be any memory if they haven't done full release, you know, so they'll be starting a new player. But if only 10,000 of them would come back in, it would change everything Mainframe's looking at. Everything. But until then, enjoy the rare little experience we have here in Pax Dei. From the mothership, this is Bender. This is Catnap. This is Deep for Play. This is Epiousios. We are live 7 p.m. 7 p.m. 7 nights a week. Praise the Lord. Lord willing. And only by His grace. Willie, once again, I pray your mother every day. Every day I pray your mother gets closer to peace. Man, that is the most dangerous word Christians say. I'm either talking living wonderful peace or, man, you know, never want to see it. Everybody wants to live forever. And that's what I want everybody to do too. And Christ said, those who believe in me and what I've done will have everlasting life. So let's leave it at that. Because Peter did. You're the one who has the words of everlasting life. Where are we to go? When he asked, why haven't you left? So anyway, let's take it easy. Pax Dei is doing extremely well. I want to keep biting the heels of Mainframe to get 5.7 out, but that's really all I want to do. And I want to, you know, stomp a hole in anybody's booty who says otherwise and march it dry. So anyway, thank you everybody. And I say everybody, I mean Willie. Because this is where it is. I hope these things do get up. They get up faster. These are slower now. That's why I just gave up. The 1 hour ones were taking so long. I was like, oh, I'm over it. They might as well take longer. I don't think I'm achieving anything by making them short. So I might as well just do them, you know, the length I enjoy, which is a couple hours. It gives me time to talk a bunch of silly things and at least get a little bit done. I do have to get on more and get a lot more done. But right now life is busy. So, you know, just keeping up with the updates is perfectly fine. As long as that's fine for you. Or, I don't know, maybe by next month something will be more interesting and people will go, wow, this is a very interesting channel. And they'll never look back and find out how uninteresting it was just a week before. Alright, that's enough for me. We out, we out, we out. Catnap, hold it, Catnap. Come on, do your job. Do your job. Hospitality. Hospitality, snap, snap. Snap, snap. See that nod? Attitude. All attitude. Take it easy, everybody. Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord's split you.